The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 249, with the Vrgnmrys. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That's Anthony just heard was Look Out for My Brother by the Vrgnmrys, who I've got on the show with me right now. They've got a new album called Northern Sun Sessions, which released on November 16th. Right now I'm being joined by Ali DeCaddy to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. So Ali, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, John.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Let's go listen back to that track, Look Out for My Brother. Coming back from Look Out for My Brother, which is the lead single off of the album Northern Sun Sessions and a killer track. I'm curious, what is the story or inspiration behind Look Out for My Brother?
Well, I guess the chorus is a big kind of call for unity, you know, not necessarily any kind of political stance, but just being, you know, seeing each other as one, I guess, and brothers and sisters, and kind of a message of love. And then the verse goes into a story of growing up where I grew up in the northwest of England.
And what a cliffhanger.
I don't know. You'd have to listen to the lyrics, I guess. I mean, it's pretty it's pretty blatant. But yeah, it's the lead single from the new album, and probably one of my favourites that we recorded.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of Am I My Brother's Keeper? Kind of always going back to that question. And like, well, yeah, and not just so, but look out for my brother as well. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, totally. I think that we're at a feels like a bit of a critical point, in society at the minute, and it feels like it could go one or two ways. It's slightly, very concerning, and people seem to. There just seems to be a lot of sides, and that you can't kind of meet halfway, which I don't think is very healthy. Really, it seems to always be that divide and conquer, but just there should always be a set of golden rules to be adhered to. I would have thought, and just being there for one another. I mean, you can change someone's life by just an act of kindness.
Mm-hmm. What inspired the track to be the lead single off of the album? I know you mentioned it was one of your favorites, but out of all of your favorites, why Look Out for My Brother?
Well, that one, I think it's because it, Dan, the drummer of the band, I like kind of him. He listens to more radio than I do, and we love all the tracks on the album, but I think this has like a blatant hook to start with, and really, I think we're looking at it from what will be most successful with radio. What we're in an age now, I think, where you've got to press play and kind of be instantly taken by something, and people don't have that 20 or 30 seconds to spare to kind of get into something. So I think that it's maybe one of the most obvious of the record that, the most instant, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. The easy bake oven approach.
Yeah, I mean, it was a calculated move, I guess, on our part to have that as first single.
Yeah. No, it's smart. All right, speaking of smart, let's go listen to the next great track, SOS for You and I.
Bodies will subside, and the real will live forever. And I am
Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. I come back from SOS for You and I, which is the second track off the album, and you know, the funny thing is, as I was listening to the album, trying to pick tracks, I was torn between all the rest of them, because it's not very often I get a great album on my desk, and it is a great album, so, you know, high five to you guys for that. But it came down to two tracks, and it was Eye for an Eye, or SOS for You and I. And when you wrote me back, when you wrote me back and said SOS for You and I was like, all right, sweet, we're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, man, I know, like, Eye for an Eye is... it was definitely my favourite going into recording the album. I think it probably is my favourite of the... I like the way that it's just two chords, actually, like from a musician's stance. To actually keep a song interested on just two chords was, you know, quite an achievement for myself. But there's just a bit of a swagger to that song. But if you can play that song at a later date, that'd be ace. Yeah.
We'll have to take a look at that. A similar question for you. Is it similar then, SOS for You and I? What's the story or inspiration behind the track?
So I had this lyric for a few years of the SOS for You and I just got into my head. And I always saw it as a kind of number plate where it was just made up of numbers and letters, but that kind of stood for like an emergency kind of SOS for you and me, you know, for you and I. And I like that kind of play on the words or the numbers and letters, and kind of wrote a song around that. I've had this tune for quite maybe a year or two, and I just wanted any chance that we can get with Danny on the drums to be doing them 16ths on the hi-hats I absolutely love. And this, just that style, I think Danny absolutely nails. He's just like such a powerful and precise drummer that I just absolutely love listening to him play like that. It's kind of almost reminiscent of Everlong, you know, the Foo Fighters track.
Yeah, which is a classic for the reasons that you just mentioned. You just listed off.
Yeah, it's just so powerful. It's just so precise on the, you know, and them fills, because it's such an upbeat track, like kind of machine gun kind of snare fills. But yeah, I mean, this is it's got kind of a group chant, hasn't it, at the start. We've been playing it. We've just done the first UK tour, and that track's been going down a storm, you know, with the crowd. So yeah, it's an exciting song.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the two tracks, to look out for my brother and SOS for You and I. We'll be super excited to know that there's a full album that came out earlier this year on November 16th called Northern Sun Sessions. So, Ali, if you wouldn't mind, when we pick up the album, what should we expect?
Well, it's a complete musical journey, I guess. A lot of our albums, I mean, there's a general vibe, essence of rock meets punk, meets grunge, meets blues. But yeah, it's quite a journey from start to finish. And it's great. We never put on like bad songs onto, you know, there's never album fillers in our eyes. So yeah, it's got to meet a certain benchmark. So it's just another album that we're very proud of.
Wow. Cool. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we stay in touch with you guys? Is there a place that we should go to on the web?
The internet. Yeah. What's the internet?
What's the internet?
Yeah,
where does it go?
If you're an old school fan, you can buy the physical album and coloured vinyl from our website, which is thevirginmarys.com. Where you can keep in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, which I believe is /The Virgin Marys official for Facebook. And if you just wanted to listen to the album, stream it, then we're on, you know, all the obvious kind of Spotify, Deezer, Pandora, just what you would expect were there.
Yeah, for some reason, when you thought if you're really old school, then you're going to want to go find a clipping of us in the back of like Guitar Player magazine. Sign up for the fan club. You'll send a postcard to us, and within the next 3 to 4 weeks, you'll start getting regular postal mail.
Oh no, we do. We've got a great group as well on Facebook that they've set up a fan community, and that's great to see them. You know, there's something posted, or quite a few things posted each day, and they all kind of meet up at shows, and they all keep this kind of family going in between. What we're doing. It's amazing to see. But they all collect, the vinyls and CDs, and it's amazing to see that still alive. When everything is, the majority is streamed now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is. All right. Well, Ali, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing the Vrgnmrys with Rock Metal Nation.
Cheers, John. Thanks for having me.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully just found your new favorite band in the Vrgnmrys. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.
It's Saturday.